Hey everyone, so this is the last part of my book haul for the month of September in the fact that I got these 3 books in the month of September, but I'm also going to be talking about 3 other books that I'm going to be getting in October that connect with these three books that I'm about to show you. Since I've been on BookTube, I've heard about various literary prizes like the Man Booker Prize. In Canada, we also have something called the Giller Prize, and that is currently happening right now. I followed along with it last year because there is an independent book publisher in my city who got a couple books on the long list, and 2 of their books made it to the short list of last year's Giller Prize, and I followed them on Twitter, and I noticed that this year they have yet again another book on the short list. So I'm a little late to the party because I have just about a month or so until the prize is announced, and there are 6 books on the short list, and I figured I want to try reading the books before the prize is announced and seeing what I think. Mainly because I looked up some of these books and I found them really interesting, so I want to try and read them and possibly do a review on them before November 7th when the Giller Prize is going to be announced. I managed to get my hands on 3 of the 6 books so far, and we'll look into getting the other 3 books as the month progresses, and let's see how far I get into reading these books. So all of these books are on the shortlist for the Giller Prize, and I'm going to show them to you. First, I have The Wonder by Emma Donoghue. This is the same author that wrote Room. I will share with you the description. A village in 1850s Ireland is baffled by Anna O'Donnell's fast. The little girl appears to be thriving after months without food, and the story of this wonder has reached fever pitch. Tourists flock in droves to the O'Donnell family's modest cabin, and an international journalist is sent to cover the sensational story. Enter Lib, an English nurse trained by Florence Nightingale, who is hired to keep watch for 2 weeks and determine whether or not Anna is a fraud. As Anna deteriorates, Lib finds herself responsible not only for the care of a child, but for getting to the root of why the child may actually be the victim of murder in slow motion. Plus, this cover is very pretty, if I do have to judge it. I have not read anything by this author before, so I will be very interested to see how I like her writing and maybe get to Room eventually. Next, we have The Best Kind of People by Zoe Whittall. This is about George Woodbury, an affable teacher and beloved husband and father, is arrested for sexual impropriety, sexual things, at a prestigious prep school. His wife Joan vaults between denial and rage as the community she loved turns on her. Their daughter Sadie, a popular, overachieving high school student senior, becomes a social pariah. Their son, Andrew, assists in his father's defense while wrestling with his own unhappy memories of his teen years. A local author tries to explore their story, while an unlikely men's rights activist attempts to get Sadie on side their cause. With George locked up, how do the members of his family pick up the pieces and keep living their lives? How do they defend someone they love while wrestling with the possibility of his guilt? I thought this was another one of those family-oriented dramas that I really liked, with such books as Everything I Never Told You and also The Summer That Melted Everything. Very interested to see if the father's actually guilty or not, because that's the big question, right? Right. This book I'm actually really excited for because it's something near and dear to my heart. And this book is called 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl by Mona Awad. This is a debut novel, and it says, growing up in the suburban hell of Misery Saga, aka Mrs. Saga, Lizzie has never liked the way she looks, even though her best friend Mel says she's the pretty one. She starts dating guys online, but she's afraid to send them pictures. She knows no one would want her if they could really see her, so she starts to lose. She counts the almonds consumed, miles logged, pounds dropped. She grows up and gets thin, navigating double-edged validation from her mother, her friends, her husband, her reflection in the mirror. But no matter how much she loses, will she ever see herself as anything other than a fat girl? As this, in her brilliant, hilarious, and at times shocking debut, Mona Awad skewers our body image obsessed culture and at the same time delivers a tender and moving depiction of a lovable, difficult young woman whose life is hijacked by her struggle to conform. Cosmically funny as it is heartbreaking, 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl introduces a vital new voice in fiction. I am overweight, so I'm hoping that I will connect to this in some way. Even though I have not lost the weight, it's still that same mentality of body image, and I'm really looking forward to it. It is just over 200 pages, so I think it's going to be pretty good read. So those are the 3 books that I've actually got that I'm going to start working on, but there are 3 others that I will eventually get in the month of October. The first one is called Yiddish for Pirates by Gary Barwin. Set in the years around 1492, Yiddish for Pirates recounts the compelling story of Moishe. I don't know, it's spelled Moishe. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. A bar mitzvah boy who leaves home and joins a ship's crew where he meets Aaron, a polyglot parrot who becomes his near constant companion. From a present-day Florida nursing home, this wisecracking yet poetic bird guides us through a world of pirate ships, Yiddish jokes, and treasure maps. But Inquisition Spain is a dangerous time to be Jewish, and Moishe joins a band of hidden Jews trying to preserve some forbidden books. He falls in love with the young woman Sarah, though they are separated by circumstance. His wanderings are motivated as much as their connection as by his quest for loot and freedom. When all Jews are expelled from Spain, he travels to the Caribbean with the ambitious Christopher Columbus, a self-made man who loves his creator. He eventually becomes a pirate and seeks revenge on the Spanish while seeking the ultimate booty, the Fountain of Youth. Sounds interesting, but it's not on the higher end of the I'm excited to read this out of the 6 books. Plus, I don't know how to say the main character's name. It really bothers me. So if you know how to say that name, please help. Next, we have The Party Wall by Catherine Leroux, translated by Laser Letterhandle. This is a book originally in French and has been translated into English. And this is actually the book that my local independent book publisher has actually published. So I will be getting this book from them. I just have to go to their store and get it. It's Catherine Leroux's first novel, translated into English, ties together stories about siblings joined in surprising ways. A woman learns she absorbed her twin sister's body in the womb and that she has 2 sets of DNA. A girl on the deep south pushes her sister out of the way of a speeding train, losing her legs, and a political couple learn that they are non-identical twins separated at birth. The Party Wall establishes Leroux as one of North America's most intelligent and innovative young authors. So again, another debut novel on this list. There's something about interesting stories, like stories about siblings or stories about families, that intrigue me in a way. The last book on this list is called Do Not Say We Have Nothing by Madeline Thine. The author takes us inside an extended family in China, showing us the lives of 2 successive generations, those who lived through Mao's Cultural Revolution in the mid-20th century, and the children of the survivors, who became students protesting in Tiananmen Square in 1989. I probably butchered that name of that square. In one of the most important political movements of the past century. At the center of this epic tale, as capricious and mysterious as life itself, an enigmatic sparrow, a genius composer who wishes desperately to create music, yet can find truth only in silence. His mother and aunt, Big Mother Knife, and Swirl, survivors with captivating singing voices and unbreakable bond. Sparrow's ethereal cousin, Julie, a daughter of Swirl, essentially, it's about a family who takes in a Chinese refugee, and the story seems very complicated. It's this book and the Yiddish with the Pirates are on my lower of the list, so if I don't get to them, I don't get to them, and I'm okay with that. But I am going to try to get to all 6 of these books, hopefully before November 7th. It's a very ambitious task because I don't usually read that many books in a month, and I want to read other books. Anyway, I hope I keep you guys informed about my Giller Prize shortlist endeavors. I'm hoping I can get through it. If not, then this was a nice try, and there's always next year. I have been wanting to get into more of like literary fiction rather than the usual sci-fi fantasy that I usually read. So that's goals. Reading goals. Yay. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!